Red, 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 red.
Well, the boys around here don't listen to the Beatles run. Old Bo Cephas threw a jukebox needle at the honky-tonk where they boot stomp all night. What? Yeah, and what they call work a digging in the dirt. Gotta get it in the ground before the rain come down to get paid to get your girl and your four-wheel drive. Yeah, the boys around here drinking that ice-cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Chew tobacco, chew tobacco, chew tobacco spit. Oh, heck. Well, the boys around here, they're keeping it country. Ain't a damn one know how to do the Dougie. No, I'm not in Kentucky, but these girls around here, yep, they still love me. Yeah, the girls around here, they all deserve a whistle. Shaking that sugar sweet as Dixie Crystal. They like that yawling southern drawl and just can't help it 'cause they just keep falling for the boys around here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Chew tobacco, chew tobacco, chew tobacco, spit.
Let's ride through the countryside. Let's ride down to the riverside.
Hey now, girl, hop inside. It's me and you gonna take a little ride to the river. Let's ride. That's right. Lay a blanket on the ground. Kissing in the crickets is the only sound. We out of town. Have you ever got down with a do you wanna get down with a girl, you gotta get down with the boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here, sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Chew tobacco, chew tobacco, chew tobacco. I'm one of them boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here, sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Chew tobacco, chew tobacco, chew tobacco.
Welcome to the Wing It Call, June 3rd, 2016. Pastor, can you take it away, please?
Yes, thank you very much, Rick. Father, we ask you to bless this call, bless the people on it, bless the people that hear it, Lord, and most of all, bring your blessing to all of us so that we can help humanity. We thank you for that in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen, and we all need that today. Recording has already started, and the disclaimer is we are not attorneys, we're not financial advisors, we're not CPAs, we're not giving any legal advice. This is not to be taken as any legal advice. And for the rest of the disclaimer, please go to the wingitcall.com, and there's a tab that says disclaimer, and there is the rest of it right there. I've got some things to talk about, but first off, we want to bring in Richard. He's got a little something he wants to say first.
Thanks, Jerry. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
We've had a lot of questions in the last several days, the last week, about the training session that that Masters Trust was going to hold, and I had made comments on the Wing It call a couple of times that we weren't going to do the get-together on the 4th, that we were going to eventually do a series of educational audios and PowerPoints, and then load it to the website. It kind of changed. It was a moving target there for a while about what we were going to do, but we just about have it ready to go, and I wanted to get on this morning and just tell you what to expect and hopefully when to expect it. We have, what we're going to do is we're going to load to one place on the website. I'm sure we're not going to call it Masters University, but it'll be the education site. We'll name it something appropriate. And in there right now, what we'll have is we'll also load Paul Rosen's video to that location. We'll leave it where it is, but we'll also load it there. We're going to have 2 PowerPoint presentations, one for trust taxes and one for more trust law, what to do and what not to do. Then we're also going to have an audio by the our accountant,
CPA?
CPA, yeah, that we're going to introduce you to. And so there'll be Paul Rosen's video, 2 PowerPoints, and 1 audio. Now I want to go to when. We hope to do this by the middle to the end of next week. They're all completed. We had to make a decision this morning on something that was needed decision on, but they're all done. I have them. We're going to be working with the website, with a webmaster to do this and load this up, and then we'll let everybody know when that's available next week. We're also going to do one other thing, because I get a lot of questions, and I know that people do have a lot of questions. So here's what we also are going to do, is we're going to update the Q&A in the website. And so what we want, anybody who has a question about the trust, whether you're a client, a member, or whatever we want to call it or not, if you've got a question about the trust, we want you to go ahead and go to the website. I think the email address in the website is that would come to me is rh@masterstrust.com. I believe that's correct. But whatever that is in the website, put together one question. And we're not so much interested in Aunt Bee's Indian head coin collection as to what, things like that. But I'm talking about substantial questions, things that you don't understand how to do. I know there's a lot of questions out there, so we want to update the Q&A, and that's what we're going to do, and also load that into the educational portion of the website also. So again, we expect to have it done by, my best guess is going to be Wednesday or Thursday of next week. It'll be active. Anyone can go in and listen to it as many times as you want to. That's one of the reasons we load it to the website. And everything, that doesn't preclude that we might have meetings sometime in the future, but we're going to have to get a little further along before we do that. So that's all I wanted to mention, Jerry. I appreciate the time, sir. And turn it back over to you.
Thank you, sir. If you'll just mute your phone on your end. And I want to say this is, people have been concerned about this trust. Is it valid? What does it offer? If an attorney is willing to make a video and put it out there on the web, then I think his credibility has went way up, because then other attorneys can look at it and see what's going on, and then advise you accordingly, because now you're getting some questions answered that you can hand to another attorney if you're concerned about it. I think this is a very good deal, and it just speaks volumes. So I've said my piece on that. All right. I'm going to let you know what? Let me go first here. and that way we can get way past this. I did an open letter to Joseph. I'm hoping that it was moved over to my website, my open letter to Joseph, so that you can not have to be in the forum and can pull it up and read it and see for yourself. But we need to stop the slinging arrows at each other. It's just time to stop it. Also, and I'm putting myself in the same mix, please do your due diligence. Vet everything that anybody says, including myself, especially me, because I hold myself to a higher standard because I'm doing this for the people. I'm not making any money off this. I'm not selling anything. Maybe I should have. I thought at one time about, selling a T-shirt just to kind of offset some expenses that said, wing it, call, hug a redneck, but I decided not to, and I'm thankful for that because I'm not making any money. I haven't asked for any donations. People have donated without ever saying anything, and I'm thankful for that, and it just helps keep the website and other things going. Thank you for that, everybody. So I sent a message to my webmaster. Maybe she can get things moved over there while we're talking. If not, it won't be shortly too long thereafter that the open letter to Joseph will be on the web page. Let's see what else. We got noise in the background. Let me see here. Oh, Pastor, can you mute out, please? Or I'll mute you. Okay, there we go. And right there. All righty. It's been a bad week in Denarland. It's very quiet out there. Lots of disinformation, and we're trying to, what's the term I'm looking for? Shake out the wheat from the chaff to see what we have, and there's very little wheat, but there's a lot of chaff out there. And it's just, hopefully because of this, I'm thinking we could be close. But nobody, and I repeat, nobody knows the date or even the rates. We've heard some crazy rates out there. They've swung from the far left to the far right. It's like a big circle. And I'll bring up the Zim because that's the one that the rates have swung far to the left and far to the right. Is at one time they were going to lop off no zeros and give you 5 cents. Then it was lop off 12 zeros and give you 65,000. So it's went full circle. We're back to, maybe just six zeros locked off, but it's went full circle. I'm sure everybody's heard that. Nobody knows the dates or rates. And please, I know that everybody has people they listen to. I am not the end all of the catch-all. I'm just part of the process, just a wheel in the cog of trying to help people out. And so we're going to focus on helping people. That's what we're here for. We're past the money stage. When it happens, it'll happen. Whatever the rate is, what will be, will be. So I guess enough about that. Art, take it away, please.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone in Denarland. Beautiful day. Good day for getting some numbers. And like Rick said, don't really know exactly when because we've been told every day we're going to get our numbers to call to set appointments. So I guess we can say we really don't know. We've been told, of course, again today we have a good chance, and let's hope that comes to be true. And as far as the rates, you echoed my sentiments exactly. They've been all over the place, and like I said to somebody yesterday, when we get there, whatever they are, be happy. just be happy you got the number to get there to get the doggone thing going. Don't matter if it's 65 cents for the Zim or 3 cents or $65 or whatever, but there's so much back and forth on that it's getting to the ridiculous point. So I guess we all just need to chill out, cool out, and don't worry about it, because the good Lord's going to provide us with what we need no matter what it is. I want to express my appreciation to everybody out there that over the past 6 years that I've been in this have sent me emails telling me how, that they thought I just always did a great job. And over the past years, I get a lot of emails like that, and I really want to express my appreciation to everybody that's told me that. Life is short, so short that 6 years ago, I've got a best friend here in the town I live in. I brought him into this business. I got him to buy, obviously, currencies, and he kind of followed my lead, and he got quite a few of them, and got cancer about a year and a half ago, and he died yesterday morning. And it's sad because he's, of course, my age, and kind of like my family, has 4 children and a bunch of grandchildren, and now he won't get to enjoy the fruits of his labor of, going through this, just like most of us have. And I got to go to his viewing later this evening, his funeral tomorrow, so I've lost a very good friend. And I'll help his children because they know nothing about it. And he had gifting letters made out to his children, which they really didn't know about. His one son does know something about it because I told him, and he's his power of attorney, so after the funeral and all, I have to get together with him and kind of sort things out for them, and that's the least I can do. But it just shows you how short life is. A lot of people died waiting for this over the last several years and gotten illnesses, and life is precious, and time's rolling along. So just keep that in mind, that be thankful for what you have. Be thankful when we get the numbers, and you go out there and take whatever you get and be just really thankful, and go out and apply yourselves and do what you need to do. And that's it. There's no intel anymore. Somebody mentioned that the other day, and I agree with that. We're just waiting for the numbers to go, and that's about it. I'd just like to sum up with that, and have everybody a happy RV week. Let's put it that way. So out here.
Frustration levels are at all-time high. From all intel providers all the way down to somebody who's just getting it. Frustration, aggravation, all of it is at an all-time high. Michael, before I get into questions that were emailed to me, is there anything that you'd like to expound on right now? Oop, I'm sorry. I had the boom mic up there. I know, you can stop texting me. You can stop texting. My question or my statement was frustration levels are at an all-time high, from intel providers right down to newbies. We're just all right there. And I hate to say this, but let's just relax and we'll get there. Iko, Wingman, any words of wisdom before I get into, I got some questions to read and then we can go from there?
Well, since it was such let's put it this way, it was a subtle week for Intel. Putting all the sensational claims aside, looking at the markets, looking at what's going on with the Saudis, looking at the backroom discussions that leak out around Greece and Great Britain, there is a lot going on, but it's not anything that can be put into a nice, neat headline. It seems to me the world is preparing for the GCR in a very earnest fashion. It seems to me that the Saudis if they do depeg, will be that catalyst, that that straw that breaks the camel's back. But the nice thing about not having all the paying attention to all the sensationalism is I got a chance to kind of sit back and think about who I want to be and what I want to do post RV. And I went back into my spreadsheets and I plugged in. Now these are not the rates, but these are some reasonable rates that I came to for planning purposes. So I used 371 for the dong, and I used 227 for the 371 for the dinar, 227 for the dong, and I used 11 cents for the zim. Those are the three currencies I hold. And then I looked at what I want to do, and plug in my family trust, my extended family trust, the charitable trust, the Veterans in Crisis Trust. And I looked at what I could do with those proceeds, knowing that anything over that will just give me more volume. And that was a very calming thing to do, and also a real strength builder. Knowing what the baseline is, and if folks are planning and are doing things like that, I would suggest that try that you use whatever you think the base numbers are going to be. You don't even have to use my numbers. Just use the minimum numbers, the international rates, what you think they're going to be, and build a plan with that as the foundation, and knowing you can always expand it. It was very calming for me, and I also realized that there's going to be a lot of denarians out there who are going to get a lot of money and aren't going to know what to do with it from a philanthropic standpoint. And if we come out with these lower numbers, you've got a fundraising base there. If you're putting together a national charity that requires national motivation, you're going to have a lot of friends out there. You're going to have a built-in funding base to use. So it's all about, as we've been saying, and everybody's been hearing, it's all about staying flexible and about knowing what to do and when, and being comfortable with whatever you do receive. So that's what I did all this week, and it made me feel real good. It made me feel very grounded and balanced, not apprehensive, not afraid. And it also felt like it was something I could control. And of course, being a control freak, I need to know that I can control things. So anyway, that's my offering for today. And I'm curious to hear what other people are thinking.
Tell me it ain't so, Wingman. You're not a control freak. Say it ain't
No.
so.
The most I've ever worked for somebody else is 6 months. That's it. It's the longest I've ever been employed by somebody else.
Okay, so I'm going to go through these questions, and I'll read them, and there's a couple of them that I think we both need to chime in on. So there's 10 questions, and they're being transcribed so that they can be put in the forum. I'll go slow, and starting with number 1, and I promise I won't skip around, and I'll go in numerical order right down to number 10. Number 1, will there be options for wire transfers, cashier's checks at the exchange center? Will they be limited in the number or amount? Last we heard, maybe 20, 25, checks, and the amount, well, that might depend on how much you have in your account after you exchange. So we don't know the rules of engagement before we get there. We won't know that until we get there. It's kind of like war. You're going to have to be flexible and make decisions on the run. Talked about that. We need to be flexible. Nothing is set in stone. Number 2, where do the 800 numbers come from? The UST, Wells Fargo, banks, spouse asked, and I couldn't answer. I think they're coming from the UST given to Wells Fargo and the rest of the banks. Now, we're going to go on to question number 3, which ties into question number 2, and Wingman, you can help me out here. Question number 3. It seems like the elephant in the room is the recent comments there will be no 800 numbers and that somehow the PTB had the ability to contact a majority of people in Dinarland, but not all. Have you or Ike or anyone you trust heard anything to help calm the concerns those comments have raised? Wingman?
It doesn't make sense not to have. I mean, the 800 numbers are the most logical distribution of the green flag that anyone has come up with. I do believe that even along with that, the word of mouth in Dinarland is phenomenal. So, worst case, if somebody gets the 800 number and it takes 24 hours for it to get posted in, I don't know, the TNT forum, or for Jerry to get it in 8 hours and put out a phone call, and for Bruce to get it in 6 hours and put out, I mean, it just seems, it doesn't make sense that it won't get out there. It'll get out there quickly, and it's not going to matter if you're first or 33rd or 333rd into the bank, as long as you get in there in what I believe is 72 hours. That's conclusion from every single piece of intel that's ever been put out there, whether I agree with who's putting it out or not. This 72 hours consistently pops up, so it's got to have an origin somewhere. So we're covered. The people on this phone call, on the internet, the people in TNT, let's just call it the TNT family because that's where we all came out of. We're covered. We're going to get in there. Whatever the best rates are, we're going to be able to enjoy. So it's, that's fear mongering as far as I'm concerned. Don't listen to it.
Can you still hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yep. They're saying that maybe on the web, and I don't know. It might be, there might be water in the line somewhere. It's been raining everywhere so damn much that.
And then in here too.
And so I got a text that says, so the Awakened 3D guy was giving misleading information.
How
we
so?
don't know. Say what? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, what is Awake giving out? That there wouldn't be an 800 number? Is that the origin of the no 800 number rumor?
That it, oh, crud. Somebody told me, and I've got so much in my brain that I've lost it. See if I can remember. That there was going to be a different avenue for the 800 numbers to come out, and they wouldn't come out and be online like what we're talking about. And
well, they're not going to be given to special people, quote unquote. That was horseshit from day one, in my humble opinion.
Well,
the 800 numbers are going to get out there, and they're going to get out there in plenty of time for everybody to see the product. Well, here we go.
Well, let me say this.
Go ahead.
If the Chinese are wanting, and I hate this term, but everybody understands it, if the Chinese want the sheeple to have this money, it doesn't make sense. And this is my opinion. I'm not disagreeing with Awaken 3D. What I'm saying is he has his opinion and I have mine, and I'm trying to use redneck logic that if they want us to have this money to make a difference, then why would they hide the numbers and only dole them out a little at a time? The only thing I could think of is maybe to slow down the expressway coming into the exchange center, because it's going to be a free-for-all is a wrong word. You know, I've heard people say a cattle call. But when you've got a lot of people coming in, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the exchange centers were set up specifically for crowd control. You can't get into the exchange center without some sort of identifier. You're going to, by calling an 800 number, you get put on a list for a specific location. So if anybody just shows up at that location and says, I'm a currency holder, look, here's all my currency, but you're not on that list, you ain't getting in. So the 800 numbers are a way to regulate the traffic at the exchange centers. And, you know, if you call the 800 number, let's just say they did it this afternoon, and you call in and they say, okay, we're going to schedule you for Sunday at 3:30 p.m. at this location. You know, don't freak out. It doesn't mean you're losing out on all the fancy-ass rates, if indeed they exist. It's the banks are not going to do anything that we can come back and sue them over, number one, okay? They're not going to risk that. Bankers are notoriously conservative to the point where it's frustrating, and we've all been through that, you know? They don't be concerned about being left out. If you're on this call, there is no way you are being left out. It's just not happening. You know, and that's all I have to say to that. It's part of the fear mongering. There has been an active campaign to keep us all off balance on purpose. It is PSYOPs 101. Keep your audience in a state of confusion. Confusion equals inaction. Don't give them anything to rally around. Now, I don't want to go too far with this, but guys, really,
let's not
worry.
get too carried away.
yeah. Don't worry. I wish, you know, I know that in my gut, in my heart, in every bit of logic I apply to looking at anything. Don't worry about getting to the bank. You're gonna get there. When this thing is released, we're all going to have an equal opportunity. And as everybody has said in the past, just keep it simple. Make your appointment, have everything lined up, dress neatly, walk in. You're a beginner, and just say, okay, you know, what's being offered, and then take it from there. That's it. That's all any of us can do, and it'll all be okay. We're all going to be wealthy no matter what. No matter what, we're going to walk out of that door wealthy people. And what we do after, that's another discussion. But that's the least of our worries, is that exchange.
All righty, let us moving on to number 4 here.
Was that a polite way of saying shut up?
Absolutely not,
Go ahead.
man. Shut up for a minute.
Go ahead. I was done. Yeah, go ahead.
Jerry, hi. Thanks for all you do for us. A post-RV contingency plan is to exchange our USD into the yuan, the peso, and the ruble. Since we are already holding foreign currency, why not just keep them? Wait for the USD to settle, then do your exchange. Heiko, Wingman, can you give a short summary on that?
A short one? Yes.
Short
yes.
one.
We have to exchange our currency. As U.S. citizens, we have to exchange our currency into U.S. dollars, period. .com, as my old partner used to say. That's it. Once you have exchanged into U.S. dollars, you can then purchase other currencies, like the yuan and the ruble and the peso and the rupee, and several others for that matter. but you got to exchange in the U.S. dollars. That's how the game's set up. That's how it's going to be played. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, stupid. KISS principle.
Yep.
Kind of like a redneck. Keep it simple. Number 5. On Bruce's call, we heard that Dunford and Ryan are overseeing the RV. What does that mean for us? Well, we're not there. Are Dunford and Ryan overseeing the RV? We don't know. That's just one person's opinion. We've been hearing this for a while now, that they're involved. We can only hope that they are, if they truly are the good guys. So what does it mean for us if they're doing that? I would say it's kind of like Christmas. You got to have somebody watching the Christmas presents. So I'm hoping that that's what it means for us. That was question 5. Question 6. On Bruce's call last night, it was suggested that 209 countries have been granted a debit jubilee. Can you add anything on this? Well, you can look all over the internet and you won't find anything about that. But that being said, if it has been, then we're on the path of being unenslaved, especially when the GCR does happen, and we won't be taking over somebody else's caustic loan payments, if that makes sense. Well, here we go. I'm going to use myself as an example. And I'm going to be nice here because this is a family call. The unnamed ex of mine, we had an agreement through the court system that she would finance the home in her name and take me off the loan. She did not do that for 3 years, which screwed my credit and left me holding the bag. So now my credit is toast, and I'm holding the bag on that while she refinanced, and it's in her name now. I hope this makes a little bit of sense. It's the same situation here. She was granted a debt jubilee, and I was left holding the bag. Hope that's a good analogy. Question 7. Jerry, are you still getting the 800s, or did your falling out with Joseph put the kibosh on that? So I'll answer it like this. I don't know if one man at our level would have that much control over the 800s. It doesn't make sense, but, stranger things have happened. So we won't know till they come out who gets them and who's not going to get them or how they're distributed. Hope that helped you on number 7. Number 8.
Can I add something to that?
Yes, go ahead, Wingman.
Politically correct. Okay. Jerry and I know at least 7 people who purportedly are supposed to be getting the 800s, depending on who you believe. So within minutes, even if they don't get to Jerry via Joseph's crowd, they're going to get to Jerry via my crowd or several other crowds. So that goes back to that other question. The 800 numbers are going to get out. They're going to get out very quickly. And anybody can distribute them. Nobody's going to say, you're going to get your wrist slapped because you're giving out the 800 number. The idea is to get the 800 number distributed. So it doesn't matter who supposedly is handing them out. They are going to get handed out. And it's going to be multiple sources that are all going to post them at the same time. So again, I feel we're 1,000% covered in knowing when the green light gets switched.
Okay. Now, before I read this, these are questions that were sent in on my forum, and they were sent verbatim to me. So all of these questions were sent verbatim to me. So I'm going to read number 8 now. Oh, and by the way, hopefully here pretty quick, my webmaster can get my portion of Open Letter to Joseph put on my webpage. Number 8, Jerry or Iko, why in the hell would Joseph become such a liar? Is it ego, just his nature, or is he a paid misinformation agent? I'm going to answer it like this. At the very beginning of the call, I said you must vet, starting with myself, you must put me underneath a microscope more than anybody, and to make sure that what I'm bringing to you is true. This goes with anybody. Anybody. There's been a lot of misinformation and disinformation put out there. With due diligence, you'll find out for yourself who might be putting it out there and who isn't putting it out there. I'm not throwing anybody underneath the bus anymore. I'm going to stand on honest and integrity. That's all I have. And I've said almost from the get-go of these calls that I don't have contacts. I'm looking at everything out there, and I just brought a bunch of people together, kind of like what Art has done over the ages. I'm just the flavor of the month right now, and I'm trying to make sure that it's going a little bit longer than a month by just being honest and giving you what I have. So you're going to have to do your own due diligence about everybody, including me. You double vet me to make sure what I'm bringing you is more, it's my opinion, but does it hold water or weight? So there we go. That was number 8. Number 9. Hi, Jerry. On Bruce's call, it was stated Zim would be at face value. Could you discuss this further? Well, I kind of think we addressed that at the beginning of the call. Nobody knows dates or rates, and we've been through no lot to 12 zeros lot. It's coming full circle until we get in the bank redemption center. We're not going to know exactly the rules of engagement until we get there and sit down and they say, welcome. It's Christmas for the rest of your life every day from now on. How can we help you? At that point, have your plans flexible. And I know it's even going to be, even for us who have discussed it and talked about it, are going to be a little shell-shocked because we're finally there. So I hope that answers your question. In the last question, number 10, I'd like to ask if there's advantage to combining our currency with that which we purchase for our adult children. We have gift letters for them, but thought we might get a better rate if we consolidated and added them all into the skeleton trust until we can get our own trusts. I think that that's a wise idea. From my side, off of the trust that I'm using, Master's Trust, it's easier to do that for me, put everything in one basket, and then I can start up other trusts for whoever, and then endow it, meaning moving money from my trust to their trust, but there's a term for it called endowing, and it's perfectly legal, and it's a term that you must learn, endowing. That is what the IRS, the words that they like to see, not just, oh, I gave the money over here. No, you didn't give it. you endowed it, and it's perfectly legal, and and if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be just a pass-through with no taxes attached to it. So I hope that answered your question. There were all 10 questions there. And let me get back over here to the call. Come on, slow computer. So what we're going to do, *2 to raise your hand, and we're going to take a few questions here. Houston, Texas. Can you hear me now? 281. Are you high and dry, or you got your duck feet on, ma'am, sir? Houston, can you hear me now?
Hello,
281.
Jerry.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Are you dry or are you wet?
Well, I'm dry, but around me it's wet. We do have a lot of rain here, so you guys just pray for us because the rivers are really out of their banks around here, so we're struggling.
Give me your question. Let me help you out.
Well, I mean, I guess my question is, we have been hearing that China is supposed to go, I think it's asset back, I guess, on somewhere around the 15th or the 16th with their Chinese yuan. So can you tell me, or Aiko tell me, that if they do that, will that help to, I wouldn't say force, but would that help the United States to go back, and maybe the RV will come if it doesn't go this weekend?
I can answer it like this. Right now, no country is considered gold or asset backed. We're still operating on the old fiat dollar type system.
Right.
The first time that any country, and it would start with China because they're now a reserve currency of the world, along with the USD. Once they announce that we are gold backed, nobody else is going to want to have anything to do with the fiat dollar, because now they have a piece of paper that has something back in it, tangible.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it won't take very long once they announce their gold back. Like an Intel provider on another call has said that I've heard, it will take days, if not hours, before the stock market starts to plunge until this transfer, until the U.S. goes gold back. This is just a way of forcing us off of the fiat dollar, which is backed with nothing but a fart in the wind. So I hope that helps you out.
Okay. Well, I guess we just wait and see. That's about all we can do, I guess. See what they do, what happens.
To add one other thing, the Chinese are very reliable for following through with something they announce. So the economic community feels that they will declare they are asset-backed on June the 16th, if not before that. But,
right.
And that will trigger a collapse. And it's also something the Chinese don't want to happen because they don't want us to collapse. We're their biggest market. So what they're hoping is that everybody comes to their senses and gradually makes this whole asset maneuver manageable. But of course, as we are seeing, there are some holdouts in the fiat system who think that they can turn chaos to their advantage. So, but it's going to be an interesting few months, that's for sure, during this transition.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for your answer, and let's hope that we hear something maybe this weekend. Thank you.
Okay, my open letter to Joseph is now over on my webpage, thewingitcall.com. underneath correspondence to and from guests. That's a tab. It's on the wingitcall.com, and it's underneath correspondence to and from guests. It is there. It is up. Please view it, copy and paste it, do whatever you want with it. Spread it far and wide. Okay. Anonymous. Go ahead. I bet this is a lady. Hello, Anonymous.
Yeah, I'd like to ask the pastor a question.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
right.
Let me, hold on just a second. I have to find him and unmute him. All right, go ahead.
Pastor, are you the same one that's on Bruce's call?
Yes.
I just don't understand why it takes people so long to realize Bruce is terrible. I mean, when's he ever
Hold
been
on.
right?
Well, I'm not a judge, and neither are you.
Hold on.
You can see their,
hold on.
you smell their fruit.
Hold on. Remember I said earlier, we're not, and I'm trying to hold everybody to this because we're better than this. We all have our own opinion, whether he's good or bad or doesn't do anything.
Well, let me give you this generic statement. When people keep listening to people that are wrong all the time, why do people do that to themselves? I mean, how many weeks, months, years does it take to realize when somebody's wrong all the time?
I've been wrong
Have a good
all the
week,
time.
you guys.
Look, I know, but look, nobody's been right. I haven't been right.
Yeah, but you haven't been wrong for years.
I've been around for many years, and trust me, people that have talked with me know that I've been off in a whirlwind, like a kite string in a whirlwind, voicing my opinion about things, and now I have to be a little calmer about it. So, but thank you for your generic statement. Now, do you have a question, please?
That was my question for the pastor. I just can't believe it. All right. Have a good weekend, guys.
Thank you. Galesburg, is that Mississippi? 269?
Hey, Jerry.
Come on down.
Hey, thank you. Jerry, Art, Iko, thank you, Pastor. Thank you so much. Hey, real quick question. I was hearing from another post that right before Ramadan that the Iraqis are supposed to get their cards filled. First of all, have you heard anything about that? And number two, what do you think that'll be the effect, if it does happen, on the RV?
Well, I can answer that one. And if it truly does happen, that they have their cards loaded, we've heard the statement that a body has made that they're international. I can tell you something else that I know. Our news, our mainstream media news, are liars about Fallujah, because people that left are now back in Fallujah after they cleaned it up. Saying that they're having difficulties? No, that's not true. So let's hope they get loaded. If they do and they're international, hallelujah, we'll be going to the bank.
Yeah, it's great. Jerry, thank you so much. Iko, Art, Pastor, Jerry, thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you, sir. Elmhurst, Illinois, 630. Come on down.
Good afternoon, everybody. We were talking about this GCR being a rebalancing that with currencies so that there won't be slave labor, so to speak. Is there going to be some kind of a treaty tied to this that we as countries will no longer go to war?
Could you say that again, please?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, it might be my phone.
Okay. with the GCR, we're talking about rebalancing currencies so that we essentially don't have slave labor in particular countries around the world. As such, as we go forward, will there be treaties that we will no longer see the need to go to war?
You know, I could only hope, because as you go back and look, all wars have been bankers' wars or elitist wars, trying to control one country's resources over for profit of another. And that's what the IMF does. I shouldn't go here, but I've been here before, and I'll say it again. I call them the Great Python, because once that you get an organization in there controlling your money, they say, well, you've got to do this, this, and this. And in the meantime, to pay us back, if you can't, then we get part of our contract with you is if the money isn't there, then we get some of your resources as you sell them, or we'll have the ability to come in and mine them for you to help pay us back. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, there was discussion that the Chinese elders were facilitating or orchestrating this GCR, and I just wondered if, since they do think so far forward, that this was part of, hopefully, the future plan.
That's what we've heard.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Orangeville, ON. Is that Oregon? No, ON. Who is ON? 51. Come on.
Hello.
Okay, I got the mute button done work. Go ahead, ma'am. We can hear you.
Hi, Owen is Ontario, and good evening, Jerry. How are you?
Just fine. How are you doing?
I am good, thank you. I have a comment for the gentleman that called earlier about Bruce's call, that he doesn't like him. Then he shouldn't, if he can't send the kitchen, can't send the heat, get out of the kitchen. Like you always taught us. I've been following you for so long, and you always said, do your own work. See if I'm telling you the truth. Do everything. He can't do that and come to his own common sense and say, hey, I'm not going to follow him because he's not telling us the truth. Because you do so much for us. You taught us so much here in Canada, it's not even funny. It's like everything that you tell us is like, oh, Jerry said this, and we go look, and it's 100% of what you always said. It's there. And I want to thank you for behalf of Canada.
Well, you're welcome, and please don't tell my Canadian wife that. She doesn't think that I'm perfect. I tell her I walk on water. She doesn't believe me.
Well, that could be really possibly arranged here in Canada. We could put some plywood underneath the water and make you walk on it.
Well, there you go. As long as people don't look below the water's edge and see that 2x12 I'm walking on, I'm good.
That's right. We make sure we hide it. Well, thank you very much for everything, Jerry. And I'm looking forward for that RV.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, the real reason that I'm friends with Jerry is because if Trump gets elected and I want to move to Canada, I want to make sure I'm allowed in.
Oh, Lord.
Not to bring politics into it. But that was what was going through my mind. If you're a Canadian hero, brother, I'm your buddy for life here.
There you go. Memphis. Ooh, Lynn on the web. Come on down.
Hi, Jerry. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. My question is, I've been unemployed for a while, so I've been having to scrape to buy what I can. As far as the currencies, can we still buy dinar or dong?
I don't know about dinar, but I think you can on the dong. I don't know any place out there that's selling it unless you do a private sale from another individual.
I found a place online. I bought some dong a few weeks ago. So I was wondering.
Yeah, but that's not dinar.
Right. But I was just talking, I couldn't afford the dinar at this point. So I bought what I could afford.
Right.
to exchange. I was informed about this over a year ago by a friend, and she gave me some, knowing of my circumstances. So when I was working contracts before I got laid off, they laid the whole second shift off here, and I bought some more of what I could afford because I'd sent you a request to join the group, and I am following you on Twitter now. So I had kind of stumbled upon this group, and I appreciate being able to listen and learn what I can.
Well, where have you been before this?
Well, I had a friend, and I can't say her name, and I don't even know what group she was in. She was in a non-disclosure, so she could not tell me. She was saying that she had to travel somewhere.
No, I'm talking about if you found me, what other, have you been over on other websites?
I've been listening. She had introduced me to Landau, Humanist. So I've been listening to them, and then I was just looking at, I think I found like Dinar, I can't think of the name of it right now. Dinar Update. So I was getting receiving their emails. So I'm trying to just keep up on my own now and then somehow I saw the WINGIT.com. They mentioned that on, let me open my email real quick and I can tell you exactly. Because I get Dinar updates, and then I found y'all somehow. So then I started following you, and it sounded like you were from Tennessee. So I was glad to see that there are some more Southern people doing this, because I want to help rescues and animals and the rescuers with my money, because I've rescued and fostered for so many years.
Well, okay, hold on. No, there's not a question in my email. Hold on.
Well, I just sent you one from my email is Husky Sides.
No, not you. Somebody else sent me an email, and it's not my personal email, so I can't answer it.
Right.
All right, ma'am.
To the WINGIT, I think it was at the WINGIT.com or Gmail. I think that's where I'd sent a request to join the group.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you, ma'am. Send another request to the WINGIT call at gmail.com and
okay.
The webmaster.
Okay. I was just wanting to see, make sure, and I think you answered my question. If so, if we can still buy it, for people who don't have a lot of money, but when we get some money to try to buy it, because
go to buyalittleDinar.com. You can still purchase dinar. There you go.
Thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome. So, Jenks, Oklahoma, 918. Come on down. I know you're probably not in Jenks. 918. Ralph? Hello? Hello in Oklahoma.
Hello.
There. Go ahead,
Hello.
Sir.
Yeah. Thanks, fellas, for taking my call. I just wanted to get your all's comments here on a few things. Earlier, a caller said Ramadan, the cards over there would be loaded and distributed. And we always heard from the OTNT, they never said we would get paid when the government was in place. They never said we'd get paid when all the banking reforms were done. They never said we'd get paid when it went international. They did say we would get paid in this country after the Iraqi people. Now, that's yet to be seen, but there was some comment that was put out that if this doesn't go, there is a plan to circumvent this, so we will go. with that being said, is it your opinion that there is still someone or something in this country trying to stop it?
Well,
For us?
Here's my opinion. I believe so. Don't know who they are for one reason. The Fed is the money maker for the elitist at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was cutting out your money maker, or have cut it out, but there was still other avenues to slow this down, I believe they're doing it. How's that?
Okay.
See, I'm not an economist, so I can't. This is high politics of power and money, and this
Right.
is so far above our pay grade. And until we're pushing daisies, we're not going to know the true answer.
And maybe not even then. But getting back, and I understand what you're saying, getting back to the Chinese yuan being a world reserve currency on the 16th, if we know that is going to happen, there's no doubt. And if we aren't on board by then, that would be chaos in this country. But I'm of the opinion, whether we're on board or not, there's not going to be any exchange in this country then, whether we go to fiat or gold backed, because after all the years of the mechanics to put this thing together, I just can't see where we would go in and exchange into fiat. We're right back where we were.
Right, and you and I have had this discussion before, and we won't know till we get there.
Yeah.
We don't know the rules of the game until we get there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we can agree then there's probably still something out there stopping this, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Alrighty, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Sin City, 702. Come on down.
Hi, Jerry.
Hug a redneck.
I haven't, but I will. I promise.
All right.
I just called to tell you that was a beautifully written letter, and thank you for taking a stand and humbling yourself enough to write that to Joseph. So I just wanted to commend you. It's nice to see, especially a man, go ahead and do that. So I just wanted to say thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for that letter. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Port St. Lucie, Florida, 772. Come on down.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Well, I'm not very happy with this. Haven't gone through yet. But anyway.
None of it. I know.
Still waiting. What else can we do, right?
Okay. How can I help you today?
My question is, what is the reason that people have been calling this RV so many times? Oh, it happened. Oh, no, it already happened here. No, it just happened yesterday. No, it happened today at 2 o'clock. I mean, has it happened for real or no?
I wish I could give you an answer. Everybody has their own reasoning for why they're calling it, and I don't know that reasoning. I'm not privy to that information.
Okay, I understand. Well, my second question is, I do not have an attorney to take to my exchange when it happens. Should I get one? So I don't have a trust either. Are you taking an attorney to your exchange?
I will be. I just want to. I want to. I call it an abundance of caution. As you hear everybody on the news say, we are using an abundance of caution. So I'm going to take one with me just to examine what's going on, any legal documents.
Okay. Then I will start looking for one just to play safe.
So when this does happen, if you've got a small rupiah or a BND, just go into the bank and just say, I want to exchange, this here, and they'll say, sure. You will take a financial hit on it because they're going to keep always the buy and sell rate is 15 to 20% difference than what. So say if it's $3 for what you want to turn in and get an exchange on, you're only going to get $2.80 back in your account. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And if you wanted to buy the same currency, it cost you $3.20.
Yes,
Okay?
there is a difference. Yeah, when the buy, sell, and the sell price,
Correct.
The buy
So
and sell price.
that gives you what I call running money. Then you can go get an attorney.
Okay, to get an attorney.
All right.
Okay, that's a good idea. And I'm sorry, just one more question. They were saying before, as soon as the 800 numbers come out, go and call, because then you're not gonna get the high rates. Or my interest now is just get exchanged. I don't even care about the rates anymore. But is that true?
Could you say that again, please?
Yes, I'm sorry. They were saying in Bruce's call, are you, as soon as these 800 numbers come, go and call right away, or you will not get the highest rate. But I was saying to you, like, at this moment, at this point, I just want to exchange. Doesn't matter the rate, because, God is going to multiply anything anyway. But is it true that if you don't call right away and you don't go to your exchange right away, you're not getting the highest rate?
Well, I say that if they come out with a high rate, that you're going to have 24 to 48 hours or a little bit longer, because they're not going to come in and go out in 12 or 24 hours. They're going to be a little bit longer than that. So if you call and make your appointment, say it comes out at midnight, call and say, I'd like an appointment for, noon the next day or something like that. And that way it gives you an opportunity to do what you need to do.
Okay. And that
All right?
doesn't lock me to that small rate, right?
Say that again?
It doesn't lock me to a small rate, right?
It doesn't lock you into a small rate?
Yes.
I don't know. We won't know the rules till we get there.
Until we're there. Well, I appreciate everything you do, and I read your letter to Joseph too, and that was a great letter. And
thank you very much.
Congratulations for sending out.
Hey, Chair, I want to add something to this one.
Okay. Go ahead.
Don't panic if you can't find an attorney, because it's hard. It's hard to describe this to people, let alone an attorney who's very focused on black and white information. If you go into your exchange, if you go into Wells Fargo, they have it appears that they have programs set up for novices. Now, the thing the bank doesn't want to do is it can't be seen as treating people, taking advantage of people. They can be seen as treating different people on different levels within certain parameters. But all of this, believe me, has been looked at by their legal department and thought through. So if you go in, you exchange, you get whatever rates you agree to, you definitely want to ask for the highest rate. Say, what is the highest rate? What is the sovereign rate? Whether it's true or not, we don't know, but make sure you ask that question. Then set up your account If they have a skeleton trust available, which they very well may have, go ahead and put it into that temporary trust. It's just a holding trust. Then you'll have the money to go out and find an attorney. And if it takes a couple of weeks, it takes a couple of weeks to find that attorney. Don't go with the first one, because if you pick up the phone and say to any attorney, hey, I've got $18 million and I need an attorney, they're going to take your case. So you want to find somebody who's in financial management, et cetera, an attorney who specializes in that. Then you can go back in and you will be able to change the trust, not so much change, but adjust the trust to your personal needs. They're not going to flim-flam you because it sets themselves up for a lawsuit later on, and that's not what they're after. They're trying to keep you there. Just remember that. They're trying to keep your business, so they're going to treat you fairly. So I guess my main point is don't panic if you don't have an attorney with you at the exchange. But by all means, bring a second person who can listen and remember and has a brain. Don't bring a dummy. Bring somebody who has a little smarts, so that you've got a witness to everything that goes on in that room. Besides the bank's witness, you've got your own witness. I think that's safe advice. But just remember, they're not going to try to screw you out of your money. They're going to do their best to help you so that you remain a customer.
Absolutely. I went ahead and muted her.
Okay. All right.
All right. Last caller of the day, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 954. Oh, come on. There you go. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 954. Come on down. Hello. Okay. Let me scroll on down here. Just 1 second, please. I think they hung up on themselves. Yeah, it looks like it. Let me see here. I want to make sure that they're not unmuted. Yeah, I think they hung up on themselves. Okay. We saved the best for the last. Miracle Queen? Is that you? Miracle Queen, is that you?
Yes, that's me. I'm here. How are you?
I'm good. You're the last caller of the day. Turn your speakers down, sweetie.
Turn the TV down, Roy.
Turn it way down.
Can
Turn
you
it
hear
off
me?
because turn your TV or your speakers off
Okay,
completely.
I've turned it down. So, can you hear me?
Very well.
I wanted to ask a question that are there going to be, when you get the 800 number, can you request which bank you would prefer to go to?
Of course.
Okay, so, and we still don't know when we're going to get the 800 numbers.
Nope.
And you can, from Mr. what is his name? Ward, OK Ward.
Yes.
How are you today?
He's been talking. He's doing very well, Miracle Queen.
Well, I know what to do with my money. All I want is let me have it. I will never have too much that I don't know what to do with. I have a lot of people that I want to help and do things for. So I'll be fine. Just let me have it.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, appreciate it.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. All right. 10 seconds to give a summary, Wingman, and then Pastor's going to do his thing.
I'm concerned about Miracle Queen that she forgot my name.
It's okay.
Okay. Miracle Queen, make sure you get professionals to help you. And also, just a quick, I guess, teachable moment. When you do something good, don't expect anything in return. If you expect something in return for doing a good deed, it won't happen. The universe shuts right down. If you do something and expect nothing for yourself, that's when it opens. It's my wisdom for the day. With that, maybe we won't have another call.
So, Pastor, it is your turn to burn.
Hey, Father, we thank you for your blessings on the call today. Thank you for everybody that listened and everybody that spoke. Bless everyone. We receive your blessing. We receive all your blessing in Jesus' name. Thank you for it, Father. Amen.
Amen, and thank you for all of that. You know, I swear, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this computer and I'm going to have skeet shooting moment. Might do it several times just so I get satisfaction out of killing it. So here's my summary for the day. We're a day closer. I know. I hate that term. Well, we're one day closer. Yeah, but we don't know exactly where we're at other than through our faith that's got us this far. If you're listening to me, then you're in it for a reason. Hopefully, between myself and everybody that supports me, from pastor to wingman to all the past people that have been on the call, that were guests, this is a total team that brings this together, not just one person. And I'm thankful that the good Lord gave me the patience and the wisdom to bring people together. Occasionally, the redneck comes out in me, and I'm trying to suppress that a little bit, because the first thing is, if you're going to confront me and I know that I'm right, we're going to be throwing down, we're going to be scrapping. And that's not always the right thing to do. So that being said, thank everybody for coming on the call. Hope that the guidance that we're bringing you. Oh, and I want to say this again. Starting with me first. I want you to vet me, not because you vetted me already. I want you to vet me every time with things that I bring in. And anybody else that happens to be on the call, but you start with me first, because the buck stops here with me. It's my call. But I have a support group that I'm also responsible for. So vet everybody. Anybody that's having a call, anybody that's providing intel, to not ask questions is to invite deception and Satan into your camp. I'm trying to remember the quote in the Bible there. People that lead other people, especially in the ministry side of it, and leaders of communities, they have to be vetted and questioned. And if they don't, and if the answers aren't adding up, then you need to make a decision whether you want to follow them or not. And if you don't, well, then they need to do a better job. But watch out for deception and deceiving. I'm not a smooth talker. I don't claim to be. But in the Bible, it talks about smooth talkers. You really have to vet them. But start with me and vet me first. So All right. Enough about beating that dead horse. And let's see, where am I at? Okay. Again, thanks, everybody. And we'll see you, hopefully. We won't have to have another call, but if not, then I'll see you Monday. Goodbye.
The conference is now completed. Goodbye. Welcome to the conference. Please enter the conference